Labeling, a superpower and a skill desired by all. Hello everyone, let's start today's video with a scenario which was given by a great man as an example to explain labeling. Imagine, there is an old man, his family lives far away from him. He is mostly lonely and due to this he has become a little grumpy. The family generally have a gathering once a year. Imagine, they are having this family gathering now. The old man, due to his loneliness and grumpy personality, is behaving oddly with everyone. He is taunting everyone about their busy life. He is somewhat angry with everyone as he blames everyone for his loneliness. One of the old man's relatives wants to approach this old man, but there is a high possibility that this old man might burst on this relative too. But you know what? Later, they both talked in a very calm manner. Everyone in the gathering seemed shocked as to how this man calmed the old man's mind and make him speak so calmly and politely. Here's what happened. That man knew the concept of labeling. He used it in this scenario. He approached the old man saying,
"Hello uncle, we don't generally see each other these days. It seems like you feel that we don't give any attention to you and we see you only once a year and therefore, why should you make time for us?"
Then he took a pause for a considerable time. But, before the old man could say anything, he said,
"For us this is a real treat. We want to cherish this time we get to spend with you. We want to hear all about you. We want to value this time with you because we feel left out of your life." After listening this, everything that was fixed in the old man's mind just crumbled. He felt a little trust and felt calm. And then they talked very calmly. That's it. You just saw how that man changed the anger in old man's mind to calm with few sentences. This is what I am gonna teach you. So watch and listen carefully the second scenario and learn with it the power of labeling.
Think of it like this. Imagine your teenage son slamming the door in your face, anger crackling in the air. You are tempted to yell back, demand an explanation, but something stops you. You take a breath and say,
"It seems like you're really frustrated right now."
Suddenly, something shifts. The storm clouds in his eyes soften, replaced by a flicker of surprise. You've labeled his emotion, not him. And in that single act, you've opened a door, a chance for him to explain the storm brewing inside. 1. Calming minds, building trust. That's the magic of labeling. It calms the emotional hurricane raging in someone's mind. By acknowledging their feelings, you create a safe space for them to be vulnerable, a necessary step before any real conversation can happen. Trust, like a fragile flower, starts to bloom. In our family scenario, your son, no longer on the defensive, might explain the fight at school, the unfair teacher or something else. But you've become a lighthouse in his emotional storm, guiding him towards calmer waters. 2. Exposing the shadows. But labeling isn't just about sugarcoating emotions. It's about shining a light on the hidden corners of frustration, anger, or even sadness. When you say,
"It seems like you're disappointed,"
you bring their disappointment out of the shadows and into the open. Remember our teenager. Labeling his disappointment might lead him to share the hurtful comment from his friend, the weight of unfulfilled expectations. You've become a mirror, reflecting his hidden emotions, allowing him to see and ultimately deal with them. 3. Soothing the frightened heart. And when someone's labeled emotions come out of hiding, a curious thing happens, their fear weakens. Naming the unknown makes it less scary, right? Just like a monster under the bed loses its power when you turn on the light, labeling anxiety or frustration takes away their sting. Imagine your son sharing his fear of failing the upcoming exam. By acknowledging his anxiety, you've not only empathized, but also opened the door to solutions. You can offer support, share tips, and reassure him of your faith in his abilities. 4. From chaos to clarity. But labeling isn't just about feelings. It can also help us organize our thoughts, turning emotional chaos into rational thinking. Let's consider two scenarios. Scenario 1, you say,
"You're so careless."
This labels the person, not their action. It triggers defensiveness and shuts down any chance of logical thought. Scenario 2, you say,
"It seems like you forgot to clean your room again."
This labels the action, not the person. It allows for a calm discussion about responsibilities and consequences, paving the way for rational problem solving. See the difference. Labeling actions opens the door to understanding motives, finding solutions, and building a roadmap for future choices. 5. The power of it seems. But how do we label effectively? The key is to start with phrases like, it seems like, or, I get the feeling that, instead of accusatory, I think you, sentences. Why? The I puts you on the defensive. It takes ownership of your interpretation, even if it's wrong. It seems, on the other hand, opens a space for exploration, inviting the other person to share their perspective without feeling attacked. Remember our teenager. If you say,
I think you are being disrespectful.
he might shut down. But,
It seems like you are upset with me.
opens the door for him to explain his point of view, leading to a more productive conversation. 6. The music of silence. And finally, remember the power of silence. After labeling an emotion, give the other person space to absorb your words, to let the realization sink in. Silence isn't awkward, it's a fertile ground for reflection and understanding. In the case of your son, after acknowledging his disappointment, wait for him to elaborate. Let him own his emotions, express them freely. In that quiet space, the seeds of communication are sown, ready to blossom into stronger connections. So by now, you might understand how good this labeling thing really is. It is 1. Understanding the other person's perspective and emotions. That is, observe emotions. 2. Reciprocating them the same emotions. That is, acknowledging emotions. 3. Label each negative feeling and replace it with positive, compassionate, and solution-based thoughts. That is, diffuse emotions. So, the next time you end up in a situation you can use labeling, give it a shot. It might make you feel a little idiotic at first, but as you practice it, you will refine your skills and then there is no coming back. Remember its power, and I hope this helps you build stronger relationships. Thanks and enjoy. Share and comment if you feel like you observed some changes in your life. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more